the general vibration of life and experience of being alive here on this earth will continue to increase and intensify as we up level leading into August. It's currently July 25th, so we have about 1 week until August 1st when the perfecting aspect of Mars and Uranus come together. The opportunities for growth are unlimited, but most of them have to do with the individual journey, the freedom and individuality of the kind of Aquarian energy. This desire just to be a little bit more and to have a little bit more available to you for your personal exploration. So the growth that is occurring, the awareness that is awakening, is not very easy to share in terms of we go through this together and we learn the same thing, but it's very easy to share the fact that others are also going through it. There's something very freeing about acknowledging that what you are experiencing, someone else is experiencing. And so as we move towards this time, there are some very high highs, and because of that, likely some very low lows, especially in terms of your physical energy. This is Mars being involved. There's this height of like, climb a mountain, run around a track, dunk a basketball. And at the same time, there's this, I don't know if I can feed myself. I don't even know if I'm hungry. I don't even know if I have desires. And the thing is, you're never defined in any moment. You just keep changing based on whatever your instrumentation, which is your body and your mind and your awareness, can pick up on and is processing. See, there's a bigger picture here. There is some sort of pattern or cycle or spiral. It's traveling through you, and you are witnessing it, and it is drawing you, over here or over there, or maybe into these similar cycles in your life, to these similar people. And I don't know if it's the puritanical roots of the country I was raised in, or it's the religious indoctrination that happened when I was younger, but there's this part of me that's just puts so much damn pressure on myself. And I know I'm not the only one, because I'm told and also I can see. But this pressure, I keep wondering, do I even need it? Does it even serve me? I saw a quote from Louise Hay that someone shared. Maybe you'll know who you are. And it said, you've been judging yourself and critical of yourself for a long time and it's not working. Maybe try giving yourself credit, or, giving yourself like a pat on the back whenever you do something and seeing if that works. So yes, sure, I would love that. But the internal dialogue that has been coded into place since probably the moment I was born, and the moment that, previous generations were born, it's there, and it has me thinking things like, I approach situations like, is this good enough? I look at that tree, I'm like, that's an awesome tree, wow, really spectacular. It could have a rotted spot on it, or it's leaning over. I don't see that. I don't have this hypercriticism. But the inner world is different. I'm like, is that good enough? Is this good enough? And obviously there are socio-cultural, ties to why we think this way. Because if you look at the world and the way it's presented to you, that's generally how it works. This isn't good enough, so you need this, or this one's better than that one, and if you had this, you could do this. And again, whatever, I'm not going to waste my time being angry at these sorts of things. But what I will say is I don't know how much I've actually chosen the way that I view myself. And you want to talk about Mars and Uranus, freedom? You're never free if that's the case. If you haven't decided the framework around which you look at yourself, you ain't even close to free. It couldn't be further from the truth. And that's actually why the greatest power that one can hold over another is to control their belief system. especially at the root. And that is why I feel very passionate about, children having the opportunity to live free of indoctrination and, religious upbringing. Not that there's anything wrong with religion. I mean, there probably is. There's something wrong with everything, depending on the framework we approach it with. But people need to just have the opportunity to look at this tree. Whoa. It's going, wah! People need to have the opportunity to define their lens, or at least be in a safe container where creating that lens it's like a workshop. Like, here's the lens creating workshop, children. We're going to put you in a space where you can explore. If you say you're interested in something, we'll expose you to more of it. And exposing children to this judgment of like, well, you can't do that because that's bad, or, you can't show this because this is bad. It changes the filter, because as children, and when I say this, I'm not talking about the kids that you have, although I am. I'm talking about when you were a child. You didn't have these psychological defenses. So some part of you was almost entirely designed and orchestrated by your parents or the people who raised you, your guardians. And you're not free, because where did their ideas come from? The world is changing. Just imagine how hard it was 3 or 4 generations ago. If you think that maybe your parents were hard on you, imagine how hard they are on themselves, and then imagine how hard your grandparents were on them, and it just keeps going. And there are outliers here and there, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is up for transformation. Mars and Uranus are just saying, we need new patterning. We need new baseline patterning. So how does that happen? Does that happen simply by saying, I want to change that, I'm going to change that? Like, maybe there's probably some gifted individuals in the world who can do that. But mostly it happens because our day-to-day becomes untenable, becomes too painful. It's full of all of these blockages and annoyances. And so we say, I think I want to change that. I think I want to do something about that. And so we are then motivated. But what I can tell you is that this time is, if it's not uncomfortable, then maybe dig a little deeper and find the discomfort. My wife tells me I'm a bit of a masochist. I like to do things where I sweat and get really tired. But if you can't find the discomfort, maybe you've just nailed it and you're enlightened. But if you can, it's good to look at it. Just look at it. Be aware of it. The moment that you're aware of something that is not in alignment with you, something within you then realizes, through realizing you're not in alignment, will say, there is a better way. And it may even start leading you to a place, at least in that direction, where alignment is possible. So, all this being said, thank you if you're still watching. All this being said, everyone is going through this. And in knowing that, we can understand that this might be a bit of a rough or interesting or playful time. You can realize what it is by understanding that what you're going through, others are going through. Okay? There's obviously more room for love in this world, and you have it inside of you. And when you share it with yourself, you can share it with others. So be patient, even when it's hard. That's kind of how patience works. If it was easy, it wouldn't be patience. And be disciplined in your life to know that what you need and what you want, if you're going to get it, you got to do it. You got to create it. And word to the wise, if you're not going to make the changes, you're not going to confront the things that are keeping you from having it, just don't worry about it. Move on. Do something different. Focus your energy on what you can affect and what you can change. This is a time where everything changes. And maybe it changes at the core, maybe it changes on the surface level, but this is what leads to lasting systemic changes. So this energy will be carried out through the fall as the final Saturn-Uranus square does come within orb. So what you're picking up on right now will be used into the future. So be patient, be loving with others. As always, be loving to yourself and have an adventure. You know, Uranus and Mars, you're here on Earth. How long are you here? You know, how long do the people around you live? How long do you expect to live? Who knows? But it's not forever. How many more Mondays in late July will you actually have? Again, good to consider, right? Once you notice it, you start thinking, what am I doing with my time? Am I touching a tree? Maybe, maybe not. Well, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing more of you all over the place, and I appreciate everything that you do in existing, because I know that it's not easy, but you make it look kind of effortless at times. Good work, and I'll see all of you very soon.